you're 6 years as a head coach of Avalanche. I mean, first of all, time flies, right?
Yeah, it does. Feels like I just got here, to be honest with you, and then you kind of start to look back on it. And the last couple of years, especially with the COVID break and the pauses in the seasons, they kind of are blending together for me, because it was different timeline, different schedules. Playoffs the one year in the bubble was in July and into August, and then we got another break and spent the fall down in Charleston for the first time in probably 15 years.
Yeah.
And but yeah, you look back on it, we've gone through a lot of change here in the organization, and been, we started a rebuild when I first got here, and then we just been building it ever since. And here we are, first trip to the finals in 20 years, and going to try and win that cup.
Yeah, you've had a little time to think about it because you guys swept 4 games. I mean, you're sitting back there now, you're practicing, don't even know who you're going to play yet. Has it sunk in that you're playing for Lord Stanley's Cup?
Not really. And I'm certainly excited about where we're at, and the growth of our team, and having the opportunity to play for the cup is amazing. But, this group has come back this year we've gone through some heartbreak over the last couple of playoff seasons, and with really good teams that we felt, could have a chance to win. And we've matured and grown together. And so this year was a little bit different. We came to training camp, and we're focusing on doing everything we could possibly do to, improve incrementally in all kinds of different areas. Not just on the ice, but our mental toughness, the approach to the game, the consistency in which we play, and just a real strong focus. And our leaders have been amazing at kind of keep raising the bar just as the season goes along, and experimenting with things that we may run into in the playoffs, as we were in a position to, having a real good season. And our focus was always that we're going to do everything we can to try and win. And we haven't accomplished that goal yet. We're further than we've ever been here, like in my time, but I still feel like it's a real strong business-like approach here. Guys are enjoying a couple days, and then when we get on the ice, we're on the ice to work and continue to try to get better here in this week that we have off before we start the finals.
Doesn't matter who you play, right?
It does not. Whoever we play, little bit different teams, both obviously with world-class goaltending, 1 and 2 in the league, in my opinion. And whoever we get is going to be playing real well. The Rangers jumped out to a 2-0 lead, and, Tampa's right back in it at 2-2, and they're not getting through each other without playing some real good hockey. So it's going to be a challenge either way. And you always be careful what you wish for,
Yeah.
we're sitting back and watching, and whoever we get, it's going to be up to us to go try and beat them.
Do you like the rest? Do you like the lull, or do you wish you kind of went right into the next series because you're playing such good hockey?
Yeah, I think you always worry about having too big of a break. We had a little break between the regular season and playoffs, played well in that round. We had a big break between round 1 and 2. We handled that well. We had 8 days off there, gave the guys some rest. We got healthier during that break, had some real good practice days and some good time to prep for our series against the Blues. And we won that one. It was a little bit shorter break again. Now we're back to a long one. So we have some health issues. We lost some guys in the first round. They've had some work done with surgeries, and we're trying to get those guys healthy. There's a possibility that we could get 2 guys back at some point during the series. So the break obviously helps that. We'll get some other like minor bumps and bruises rested. I like getting a little bit of time to take care of those health issues. And then also just to sort of take a mental break away from the game. Playoffs are a grind. They're stressful, like not just for management and coaches and families, it's for the players too, always having to be on, so they get time to sort of get away from it. And then it's up to us as coaches to kind of gear them up and get them ready and give them the pertinent information. But even if sometimes that rest pays off in a long series too. Like Tampa just had a big break. They're getting better as the series goes on. It can pay dividends for you. So we'll take it. we're getting it regardless. So we're gonna make the most of it.
Yeah. All right. You were talking. You said earlier the word that kind of hit me was timeline, Bedsy. Sixth season. You started the rebuild. Everyone wants to win right away. I get that, but we knew that wasn't going to happen with what you came into. Are you where you want to be right now, as far as the organization stands 6 seasons in?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that like Joe and Chris, they've done such an amazing job of adding key pieces for us. We got some guys out of the draft. Like that first year was a tough year. It was frustrating. It was hard, long, hard year. And we still have a number of our players, our core guys, our young, core skilled players are still here from that. So they've gone through some heartache. But we sped up the process on the rebuild year 2. We became an exciting team right away. And there's been significant turnover in our team over the last 4 years. In 3 of those years, I think we had a really good chance to win. And 1 year we were decimated with injuries in the playoffs and couldn't get it done. Last year, we just did not play the way we wanted to play in the second round and got eliminated. That one stung. That was the first one. We've been building towards that. Felt like we had a real good team. We won the President's Trophy, and then didn't perform the way we needed to in that series. And that I think that's helped us this year, learning from our mistakes there and being more prepared as an entire organization and group on what may come our way. And guys have felt that heartache and they're pushing through it this year. And we've been really consistent in what we do. And we added a bunch of depth in all positions at the playoffs, which has really helped. This is the deepest our team's been over the 6 years. And so we've been relevant, but now it's time to go and take a crack at it and try to win this thing. But we're really happy with the way the process over the last 6 years has gone, and even the outlook moving forward for our team is exciting.
A lot of hockey teams are notorious for, if you aren't winning now, you're gone quick. So it's nice to know that the people above you were there for you and we're able to say, hey, listen, we're going to give you time to establish this. We know you're a guy who can win with us. So they're going to give you time to build the organization.
Yeah, and that support's been fantastic from day one. The lines of communication with Joe and myself and the organization. And I guess like I'm most proud of that we've kind of come to this point, even though we haven't reached our ultimate goal, but at least we continue to improve every year, and we're staying in the conversation, as one of the top teams in the league. And now we have to go take that final step. And I'm certainly appreciative of the opportunity that I was given, and the patience and the understanding to kind of stay with me. And now I want to pay my bosses back for keeping me here, and show them that they made the right choice. So that's just kind of the way I think and operate.
Yeah. You were able to walk down the street. No one would notice you 5 years ago. I guess that's not the same way now.
Yeah, no, it's not. The hockey in Denver, like when I first came, we were going through some tough years even prior to me. And then, this young core that was just starting to build. And so I would say the guys, myself, everyone's kind of, our fan base is back. We're selling out our building. Our fans this year have been amazing. Ball Arena over the last couple of years has been a tough place to come in and win hockey games for our opposition. We played really well at home, and like to continue that through the playoffs. But our support around town has been growing with our team and how it's produced. So that's the goal: bring a Stanley Cup back to this city and reward our fans for sticking with us and getting on board with us over these last few years.
Let's talk about the Stingrays a little bit. Can you believe it's been 13 years since you coached here?
Yeah. Time flies. It's crazy, because I still feel like I'm a young coach, and I started coaching there right out of retirement with Fitzy, and he gave me the job as his assistant. And then after even leaving there after 7 years, I put 15 in, or 8 more in the American League before I got here. Now I've been here 6, so 22 years of coaching pro hockey, and still feel like I just kind of got here and is still establishing myself as a coach.
You take anything, I mean, anything you learned? I mean, I've been in the same job for 25, 30 years, and I still remember things that I learned, 15, 20 years ago. Do you feel that way? Is there anything that you take with you from your time in Charleston and with the Stingrays?
Oh yeah, no question. I mean, you're always trying to learn and improve and get better at honing your craft. But I was always under the belief that you just do the best job you can where you're at, and don't be in a rush to sort of climb the ladder. And when you do that, you can recognize things that you're doing right, and recognize things that you need to improve on, and like I said, keep honing your craft. So when you get the opportunity at the next level, you want to make the most of it, and show that you belong and be able to win. And was fortunate to be put in some really good situations as a coach and help teams win, and I'm trying to do the same thing here. But the one thing about the ECHL level is, like, you're such a tight-knit group. You spend so much time together, even riding the buses and everything, the communication with the players, and so they know that you can, like, you have to be yourself. And I like to have fun, and I like to communicate with our guys, but I also, you still have to know, or they have to know, that you're still going to approach it in a real professional manner, and still be able to hold them accountable when they're playing, not playing to their capabilities and that. And so you kind of learn that by experience and dealing with players at different levels. And it's no different here. And we've got a real tight group here. And I think that's the culture that I like try and instill in our team, that we're all family, and we can be honest with one another, and it's an open book, and they know what they're getting from me, and I know what I'm getting from them, and we move forward and try to perform the best we can. So that's the basis of it anyway. It's been working. So still learning though as we go.
Some of your closest friendships were made with the East Coast. I mean, you're talking about Fitzsimmons, Marietti, and Kincannon, and all these guys. I mean, some of the near and dear friends that you still have. But it must be nice to be able to hang out with them and talk anything but hockey, isn't it? Sometimes.
Oh yeah, no question. We've got a group text going, and we're constantly talking with one another. I just saw Robbie here not too long ago. Guys will make trips. I'll see him when I was on the road in Raleigh, and then obviously off seasons, I'm right back there, and you jump right back into it like you never missed a beat. And yeah, those guys in Fornsies in Columbia, and we see each other often. And yeah, they're my nearest and dearest friends, no question. And Charleston's still home. I don't get there as much as I used to, busier schedule, longer seasons, which is good. But it's nice to have those guys when we get together and chat. We'll talk hockey for 2-3 minutes, and then that's it. We're talking about other stuff.
Yeah. Good to get away too and recharge the batteries. I mean, sitting there on the Isle of Palms and just kicking back and not even thinking about it and just relaxing after the season.
I lost you there, Clark. You
Yep.
Paused on me, but go ahead.
No, I was saying it must be nice just to be able to come back to the Isle of Palms, get away from everything, and just be able to recharge the batteries too. Even if the off season is a lot shorter, that's fine by you.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're hoping for a short off season all the time. But yeah, it's nice to get out of even like, I love Denver, but it's nice to just get out of Denver for a little bit, get home, get on the boat, relax, decompress. You have to, with the stress of the job and expectations and meeting expectations or exceeding expectations, it's when this NHL season starts, you're playing every second day basically, with back-to-backs mixed in, and so you're constantly just moving on to the next. But you got to take some time for yourself to kind of decompress, step aside, and then you'll look back on things that you want to improve and do some homework over the summertime. And then you're getting prepared for training camp and whatnot. So it's pretty short. But that time away and just doing something, anything other than hockey, whatever your interests are, I think is really important for your mental health. And then having, friends and family around that know you the best is always a plus added to that.
You were talking about stresses a little bit. Did you realize how stressful it would be being up in the NHL and all the things that come along with being a head coach in the NHL?
I think so. Because my take on it is, like, no one's going to put more pressure on myself or our team than we put on each other. Like, I want to win. I'm a competitor. I want to win. I've been fortunate to do that a couple times at different levels, and as a player that's stayed as a coach. So I would say I'm pretty good at blocking out the outside noise and expectations, but you're putting that pressure on yourself to be as prepared, as a group as you can possibly be. And you want to win. So you're like living and dying with the wins and losses a little bit, and trying to keep an even keel. And it can become taxing. You don't get many breaks. A little break at Christmas. The longest one you have is in February, 6 months after you start,
Right.
for the All-Star break, which only lasts a week. But that's why I feel like off seasons are really important, for not just for us as coaches, but for our players, to, even though training is a year-round job now, to just get away from the city you're playing in and spend time with loved ones, and do anything other than hockey that you want to do, and just kind of enjoy it. And so you come back mentally, not just physically healthy, and you've taken care of those minor injuries and whatnot, but mentally refreshed and ready to go through another grind of a long season.
Bedsy, you've never snapped behind the bench. I've never seen you lose it. We've seen coaches where the hamster falls off the wheel and they're just going nuts, but that's never happened to you. Are you like a duck on a pond, calm on the outside, but underneath there's a lot of stuff going on?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? Over the last couple of years,
it doesn't help to snap,
been
right? It just doesn't
easier,
help.
right? And it's been easier to sort of, stay present and in the moment, and not get too high or low, because our team has performed so well. Like, we've been a really good team here for 3 years. I think we were third in the league when they shut us down a few years back. Last year we were first. This year we were right there and finished second. So I have a lot of confidence in our approach, what we do, the way we play, our players. A lot of confidence in just our day-to-day operations, that we focus on our process and what it takes for us to be successful, and then we go play, and we've been raising that bar. And so, like, when if something happens during the game and things go sideways, I know that we can, that our guys have proven that we can get it back and keep it rolling, and that we'll respond the right way. And it doesn't happen every single night out of 82 games, but it happens a lot for us. And so that helps you kind of stay even keel, because there's an inner confidence about what our team can do and the way they play. And so, yeah, probably a little bit of maturity there within our group and myself, and keeping that confidence and keep our team playing the way we're supposed to play.
Would your name be engraved in the Stanley Cup? Would that be the ultimate notch in your career, or is that how you judge success, or is there anything else?
Yeah, I mean, that's the ultimate goal. So I would say yes,
Mm-hmm.
And it's there's a hunger there to win, and it's not going to go away. Even when you win, it didn't go away from me as a player, it didn't go away from me as a coach, winning at any level. But yeah, I mean, this is the biggest trophy in our game, and so yeah, that would be a real nice accomplishment for our team, and also for myself.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you were to win the Stanley Cup, you'd be the only guy to win a championship in the ECHL, AHL, and NHL. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Bruce Boudreau is another guy that's won at the ECHL and American League level. I know Tortorella won in I can't remember what the name of the league was, and the American League and the NHL. So he's won at 3 different levels of professional hockey, but it wasn't the ECHL at the time. It was a different league. Yeah. So another reason to go try and get it done.